All right, y'all. Here we are, man. Here we go. Sunday morning, man. There ain't no days off. Ain't nothing, man. So I didn't get a lot of footage yesterday, and that's okay. I got a bunch of content that I got to edit, but I haven't had time to edit. I've been doing a lot of things. I got a job that I looked at that's pretty overgrown. It's a residential, and I think I got some really good footage over there and a little bit of commentary over there while I was over there, but I haven't had time to edit it. Also, I took the Bobcat over to the bamboo site yesterday. I got it over there now, and well, basically yesterday I didn't feel like doing anything. By the time I got done looking at that job and going over there to the bamboo site, I do have some video of the new 431, steel 431 clearing saw, and I'm gonna do a little comparison today over just how it's built versus how the my other brush cutter, clearing saw is built. What else I got? Yeah, basically we're gonna be cutting some grass over there at the bamboo site. Also, I'm gonna be making some trails. He's fixing to have some kind of paintball competition thing over there, and he wants me to kind of make some trails through the thicker stuff to where it's gonna be pretty fun. I got a layout of the whole property, and on the property he drew where he wanted some trails where people can run down the trails, but they can't be straight. They got to kind of be where people can hide. It's really a good site to have a paintball thing. A little hot for me right now, but for younger folks, I mean, I can remember a time when I could run through these woods over here like that and have a blast. Of course, that was 20 years ago. I ain't none of that running shit no more for me. The most impact thing I'm gonna do is ride a bike or something. I ain't running nowhere. So yeah. But that's where I'm at. I appreciate all the comments on the video yesterday, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with on a mentality level with help. And then the help often wonders why I don't want to work them over the weekend or whatever, or I end up like today, if I felt like it, I could have the help come out here and work, and they can make I don't know, as much money as they make during the week, maybe even a little bit more, because I got the Bobcat over there. But I don't want to, man. See, I don't want to put easy money in people's pocket that thinks like y'all saw yesterday, right? And everybody does things different. Number one is I always weed eat edge the properties first. And I know that's a big debate. We've talked about it for years. Which way's faster, blah, 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 blah. And, each his own, whatever. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. But for me, when I get out of the truck, I want to do the hardest thing first. And for me, the hardest thing is weed eating and edging. If I'm solo, now we're talking about solo, I'm always gonna weed eat first, because when I get out of the truck, that's when I'm at my freshest. So I jump out of the truck, and by the time I get hot, I'm done weed eating and I'm on a mower. If I'm doing 2 properties, I'll weed eat 2 properties, and then I'll get on the mower, because once I get on the mower, it's over, game over for 99% of the properties, other than all the big ones, but for the regular, lawns. So I'm riding in the AC now, right? So my core temperature is way down. And when I jump out of the truck and I grab a weed eater quick before I get too freaking hot. If I get on the yard and I'm mowing, I'm having to stop, move this out of the way, stop, move that out of the way, and all that. And by the time I get to the Weedeat, I'm already hot, because you can't dodge the heat where I'm at. You know, you can minimize it, but you can't dodge it. There ain't no way. But the humidity is just brutal here. And right now, it's 8:15 in the morning, and it is 82 degrees. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. And I don't know what the humidity is. It's up there, I'm sure. But there's been a debate over, you know, weed eating first, edging first. First of all, I don't edge every single property. Matter of fact, I don't edge every property every time anyway. Even if I do edge them from time to time, but I edge them as needed. And there are some properties that, well, when you got guys that don't really know how to edge with a weed eater, well, you have to put a stick edger on the truck with them so they'll use it. And the stick edger, to me, always leaves a better edge than a weed eater. And I've been doing this a long time. I can edge with a weed eater, but it's not as good as a stick edger. I mean, that's just, it's not. It's not as deep. It's just not as good. Now, once they get maintained, what I do is I'll go back with the edger, you know, every now and then as I see fit. Sometimes we'll edge the property at the very beginning of the season with an edger, and then we won't edge it with an edger again until, you know, like now. And then we might edge it one more time in you know, August, maybe. It's not a thing that I schedule or nothing. I just look at the property and I'll say, okay, we need to bring an edger over here next time. And I'll jot it down on my little list. And when I get home, every night when I get home, I take that list and I recalculate everything. So that's the way I do things. But back to weed eating and edging first. And everybody does it different. But when my core temperature's down and I'm getting out of the truck to go do a property, or I pull up to a property and it's, you know, 100 degrees, or I got two of them right there together, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. I jump out of the truck, I grab the weed eater, and I'm gone. I ain't playing. I'm not hanging around the truck bullshitting. I'm moving, getting the hell out, getting the weed eating done, so I can get on the mower and get the breeze going, right? Also, some of the benefits of doing the detail first is I can move water hoses out of the way. I can, and I'm talking about solo, and I'm talking about on regular maintenance properties, not properties where, you know, big fields and stuff. And I'm not talking about that, or properties that I just started doing. I'm not talking about that, or properties that are empty that have gone 3, 4, 5 weeks without any maintenance. Well, number one, I'm probably not going to be doing a property like that solo. So what I do then is my guy jumps out, he grabs the weed eater, and I go in front of him around things to make sure there's no critters or nothing going to jump out at him with a weed eater in his hand. So I use the mower for that kind of thing. A lot of times when I go do property cleanups back in the day, I don't do a lot of them anymore because, well, I don't have to. But they're lucrative. I would, you know, jump out the truck, hop on the mower, go on and cut her like inside the fence line and all that kind of thing. Everywhere, you know, as close as I can get with a weed eater, just like you would, you know, if you were mowing first, and go from there. But on the day-to-day operations and the day-to-day way I do things, I always weed eat first. Always. It's just the way I've been doing it, man. And you know, there's been a lot of debate about what's faster and all that. And, you know, I mean, for real, y'all, it's not that big of a difference. I know there's one guy on here, a big shout out to SC Lawns, Scholar at SC Lawns. He has to do things a lot different. He's pretty passionate about how he does things, and nothing wrong with that. But he runs 72-inch deck mowers. Well, when you're running a 72-inch deck mower, there are on lawns, there's a lot more things that you got to be thinking about, because the 72-inch mower tends to dip and it can't get in a lot of ditch lines and stuff. There's a lot of things that I see on YouTube where people are weed eating, you know, a ditch or a semi ditch, and when I know that I would put a lawnmower on it, I would. I do steep ditches with these zero turns with the 12 tires, steep ditches. But if you're running a 72-inch mower on Pawpaw and Mamaw and all the granny yards, well, you're gonna have to do a lot more weed eating probably. Now, if you're on a great big field, of course they're better. But for me, on the smaller lawns, that's why I don't have a 72-inch mower. But the reason I don't have a 72-inch mower, and I've had a couple of them over the years, is, well, they're just not conducive to the small properties and be as efficient as the 60 inches. For me, you know. Weed eating first also allows me to remove and open up gates and stuff where when the mower cranks up, it's on and popping. You know, I don't like getting off the mower, picking up toys, moving water hoses, and these are all things I know we might say we don't do, but we don't run over toys and we don't run over water hoses. So we have to, you know, pick these things up out of the way before we can mow. And I don't like being on a mower and getting nice stripes going, and then I got to stop and pick up water hose. If I go in that backyard and I go on and weed eat, then I can, as I'm walking, I can move the water hose out of the way. I can kick the football and the basketball over to the deck or whatever. I can, you know, move the hose out of the way. So then when I start striping, I'm not stopping. There's nothing worse than getting in the middle of a stripe and only to have to stop the mower, stop the blades, and then you can always see where the mower stopped and started back up. But the biggest benefit to me, other than that, is my core temperature is cool when I get out of the truck, and I never really feel depleted all the way before I'm done with the average property. I'll run around and weed eat, drink me a glass of water, or drink me some of my drink here, and then I'm on a mower. And then I use the mower to help clean up the edge that the edger made, to help you know, blow the driveway off, the roadside off, and all that too. You know, if you mow first and put the mower back on the trailer, then you're mandated to walk everywhere, every crook and cranny with a blower. Because, well, I use the mower as a blower on the streets and stuff. You can't do that if you're weed eating edge first. So you gotta put them, you gotta walk the whole property to blow. And sometimes you gotta do that anyway, but I'm minimizing that, because I want the mower to do all the cleanup if it can. Like I say all the time, I want a machine to do everything out here in this heat. Everything. So all right, y'all, so here we go. You'll see we got the T190 with the brush cutter on it, and everything looks good on the machine. There's no leaks or anything. I do still think there is a small coolant leak. It's not big at all. I told you guys a couple weeks ago that I put this stuff in it, and but I think that when it caught on fire, that it melted, undermined some of the hoses. It may even have melted some of the radiator or something. I think that after I do a couple more jobs with it, I'm going to buy another radiator for it. Of course, I'm going to make sure that the radiator is leaking or not. But it's so hard to work on when you start getting up into that, into it. It's really hard. And it's not like today, it didn't hardly hold any coolant. It was almost full. So it's holding fluid pretty good, but I haven't been running it. So I haven't really, you know, taxed the machine ever since I put that stuff in, that stop leak stuff in the cooling system. So my mechanic said to buy this other stuff, and I did, and I got it in the truck. But at the end of the day, he says that when you put this stuff when you put that stuff into a machine like this or a vehicle, that at some point in time to get everything back to right, it's usually just a temporary thing. That's what he said. So, but we're fixing to get on the T190 and we're fixing to go cut some stuff, and I'll set you guys up somewhere, probably hanging from a tree or something. Peace out. Okay, y'all, so y'all kind of see what we got going on here. There's that road I was just talking about, and this is the patch of woods, and this is the power line clearing, small power line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up in here with the Bobcat brush cutter, the T190, with the brush cutter on it. Y'all see it, man. Y'all see it. And I'm gonna go this way. And what we're gonna try to do, and I'm not sure how successful I'm gonna be, and I hope I don't tear nothing up, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. We're gonna try to come off of this wood line right here about 10 or 12 feet and go straight down through here. And then we're gonna come out to the roadside and we're gonna make a cross here to go from the road to this power line here, okay? That's kind of the deal. Now, I don't know how much good footage I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna give it my best, man. I'm gonna put you guys on the time lapse. I'm gonna pick it up a little bit higher. And yeah, you see, yeah, and I'm gonna put it on some time lapse, so see how much good footage I can get. In theory, we want to be able to see the in theory, we want to be able to see the big power line on down, okay? So I'm gonna put y'all on time lapse. Okay, so you guys can see the little, that's just one pass. I'm gonna go back in here again, and that was all woods, and I'm cutting big stuff, man. This is almost, well, it is. This is forestry mulcher type stuff, but I ain't got a forestry mulcher, and I don't have a machine big enough to run one. So we're gonna do what we need to do to make this path clear all the way through. Now I did on purpose go do a little turn around a maple tree down back there, and I'm gonna put y'all on the skid steer with me, and I'm gonna try to show you guys from inside the cab here what we're looking at. So it's heavy duty, man, right here. But right now you could walk down through here. It would still be a little bit difficult, but we're going by the time we go over it 2 or 3 times, that's just one pass. I'll pick the bush hog up in the air, and we'll get some of the overhanging stuff too. That's about a 6-inch diameter. I'm gonna cut it off. at the end of the day, it simply does not take that much runtime to do a lot of damage. Now, down in here, we're gonna be able to get this a lot cleaner. I'm just gonna go back and forth. The hard part's over. And since the thing about jobs like this is, well, I mean, I'm overdoing the machine for this. This machine is really not designed for this. And if you were new operator, you would not want to be doing this kind of thing, but you'll tear something up. See, I kind of know, and I'm not the best operator, but you know, having my own Bobcat for about 4 years now, I am, well, I know what the machine can and can't do. And so I know it's done in the past. And of course, anything can break at any given moment when you're doing stuff like this. That's why you have to charge so much to do stuff like this. Now, in theory, this is not the best piece of equipment for what I'm doing right here. A forestry mulcher would go up in here like nobody's business. But a forestry mulcher costs $30, $40, $50, $60, $100,000 for just for the freaking the head, not counting the machine. You could easily be in for $150,000 for the correct machine with all the aspiration things on it and everything to do straight forestry mulching with the mulcher head. You could easily be in $150,000. Well, you know, that's good if you got the work, but if you don't have the work, then you know, the average person, you know, little guy like me, a forestry mulcher is way outside of my league at this point in time. So, you know, my Bobcat's paid for, so anything that I do over here is all profit. Now, if I tear something up, well, you know, it is what it is, but I'm going to try to minimize that by making a pass or two, turning the machine off, letting it rest for a minute, let everything cool down a little bit, and then do it again. The biggest thing in here are the stumps from where the tree pulpwood guys came in here and they cut everything off, but they didn't cut it off at the ground. See all these pine stumps? See, that's the biggest thing that you can't see. So I'm gonna clean this path up a little bit. I'm gonna put you guys back on the time lapse because well, the battery don't go dead as quick. So that's where we at, man. So the T190 did what it do, y'all. No problem, no nothing, man. Look at it, man. So this is, we know it's not designed to really do this. You gotta watch out for copperheads. But see, copperheads love to live in this stuff right here, y'all. Copperhead's poison snake. Yeah, y'all, this ain't no joke right here. We just turned the brush cutter into a forestry mulcher, y'all. And this is how, I mean, roads start out like this, y'all. I could literally make this a hardcore road. Man, we straight pimping over here, man. Dude, look. Hell
yeah, man.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Now I haven't went all the way through, so look, I made a one end right here.
Okay.
But dude, there's so much debris. Look at all the debris right here.
Yeah, I know.
But man, it's mulching it all up. Just to be able to walk down through here is pretty, there's a big stump right here. See this one?
Yeah.
But you could have literally probably done this with that brush cutter eventually.
Shit would have wore you out.
Oh, you'd
Take
be
a few
wore
days.
out. Oh yeah. And you got to do something with the debris.
Mm-hmm.
It's just falling all over you.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
pain
bit.
in the ass.
That's the hard part. You slinging that saw, and then you got shit falling on you. You know.
Might come back and hit these.
Yeah, that's what I was going to show you.
knobs.
You can hit some of this stuff with the brush cutter, but if you're cutting stuff like this, right, and you're cutting it off at the ground, well, the shit's falling all over you, dude. You're wasting a bunch of energy. I know. I've
Yeah,
run.
that's what I just did.
You're
And I was
wasting a
like,
bunch
man,
of energy dodging and getting the
That's
shit
what
off
I
the
just
saw.
did, and then I sat down and like I took a break for like 20 minutes, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I really could have done all that shit in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And I would have saved
yeah.
a lot of energy.
All right, y'all. So y'all know I've been over here at my buddy's property, you know, with the kids there today, and we got a lot of stuff done. We did break a belt on a mower over here, and that's just, you know, we're on some rough properties. You know, it's a rough piece of property, and he's trying to cut everywhere. So there at the very end, the belt broke. But see, he came up to me when the belt broke and said, dude, my bad, man, how much is the new belt? And I told him, and you know, it's a deck belt on the Laser Z. Not a big deal, you know, I could have done it, but he just happened to be the one on it when it happened. So he gave me 200 bucks, man, you know, to get another belt. So, and you know, he should, you know, I mean, he knew that. I got a kind of a deal when I let buddies of mine use the equipment. Usually I don't let anybody use the equipment. But when I do, it's kind of an unwritten rule for us Southern boys anyway. I don't know how everybody else does it. If you break it, you bought it. You know, and that's how it goes, you know. But he was real cool about it, you know. He felt bad about it, not a big deal. But he just wants to get out there and do some work, you know, and he doesn't really have the tools to do the kind of work that he's done. So, you know, if we get through the whole weekend and all we do is break a belt on a lawnmower, well, that ain't bad. So, and that clearing saw, that 431, that ain't no thing. That thing it's a beast. It will work you though. And he ran it for a couple of hours. Man. It ain't the type of saw that you want to use this time of year, for sure. So we're ahead of the game already, because I was supposed to cut the grass over there this week, and now I don't have to. That's a big property. It's a rough property. It usually takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to cut it all. So that's done. I don't have to fool with that. So, yeah, y'all. All right, y'all. It's Sammy time. And it's Sammy time Sunday. See ya.